What a joke. What a circus this game's turned into.
Yeah, wrong side.
He should be. That was Kimball supposed to do.
Kimball's
They
ready
had
to
a meeting
go.
for 15 minutes, and he steps on the mound, and they call him. This is a joke. It's all right. Keep making up rules until no one knows what's going on.
And now Kimball and Rojas are going at it.
This is Mona Lisa Baseball.
John Kruk, did I love hearing him go off on his circus comments? I'm right in line with everything he was saying. Couldn't have agreed more. And he's spot on. And I kept thinking this could cost this guy his job.
Glenn Kuiper lost his job, but you know.
There was some pitch clock violations. There was some confusion. I think there might have been a clock malfunction. Something didn't get reset. And he just had kind of had enough.
A clock malfunction?
I think that was...
Oh my God.
Or like it didn't get reset when it was supposed to. I think it was more like that.
Right, yeah.
You know, he was taking shots at what they've done to the sport. And it's one of the few times, I mean, with all the research we do and trying to figure out who might think this is a bad idea, it's one of the few golden gems of just somebody can't hold it in any longer. I'm not going to play the game. This is stupid, and just lets it out. And I'm glad he still has his job, because I thought he had just had enough, and this would be worth losing your job over. Sort of, I will not cross this line. Like, I'm going to say what I think.
But don't you think most people in that moment were thinking, oh, well, this is not cool? He was probably expressing what most people were feeling, especially because the calls were probably going against his team.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to say, because this entire season of most of the people that I've talked to, I would say most people lean towards liking the clock, and the people that are more on our side aren't really even on our side. It's sort of, well, let's wait and see, instead of just adamantly opposed. I've met very few people that are adamantly opposed. And I'm still stunned by that.
Yeah.
But I think people will understand that more as we walk down this path that baseball is headed and see where it goes. You know, my crystal ball has never stopped shining.
Let's not forget that MLB spent millions on ads to convince you that this was all a good idea.
Yes. Very good point. Extremely good point. Baseball's back.
3 new rules, more great action or something, dude. Speaking of awesomeness in the game, we have a bunch of new stats, man.
Love new stats.
So many stats.
We got good quality acronyms that go with them.
You remember when we did the episode about, you know, quote unquote new stats like war,
sure.
whip and stuff?
The new ones to me?
Because you're an old school guy. I know. I think that was a lot of fun. But we have all new stats because of the pitch clock.
Don't
you want to know what these new stats are?
I have to know.
They're all about violations.
That does sound fun. Violations. Penalty box.
Yeah.
Put his ass in the penalty box.
Are they getting used to it?
Yep.
Are we getting used to the new rules? So we got to look up these stats. We got to find out, you know, how many pitch timer violations are happening month over month.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. New stats.
Great.
PPTV. Pitcher pitch timer violation. PPTV.
It's hideous.
It's great.
Yeah, it is great.
Who thinks up this shit? Seriously? PPTV? You thought that was good?
Yeah.
There's so many other ways you could like word that.
Yeah.
Okay. CPTV. Catcher pitch timer violation. Much more rare, by the way.
This is horrid.
We have the DGV. Disengagement violation. Cool. And then you're going to love this next one. DSV. Defensive shift violation.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How dare you?
Guess how many there's been this year? Guess how many?
Oh, that's great, because I haven't heard that once. So I'll say in all of baseball.
Yeah, all of baseball so far. Guess.
I'm going to say 31.
31? You think there's been 31 defensive shift
know.
violations?
I don't know.
Bro, there's been 2.
2. Okay, that's probably why I
Yeah,
haven't
they're
heard.
all playing by the rules, man. They're all playing by the rules. Both of them were accidents.
Interesting.
Well, one of them was an accident. Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Let me just run through these other stats really quick.
Run. Yeah.
BPTV, batter pitch timer violation. That one's important. BTV, that's a batter timeout violation. That means he didn't like even get up there. And then we have EBV, total balls by violation. This is important. We're going to get to that later. ESV, total strikes by violation. We're going to use those to calculate month over month effects. Okay.
You know what I just realized?
What did you just realize?
We're going to have to actually make baseball cards the size of 8.5 by 11 sheets to fit the new statistics.
No. There's just a QR code on the back. You scan it with your phone and it goes to a web page that brings it all up.
Leave it to tech guy.
That's
okay,
right.
thank you.
Figured it out.
Moving on.
So they are, you guys, they are getting used to it. So in April, we had 199 balls on violations. That includes the pitcher. That includes the catcher. It's the total balls.
Okay.
And then
balls
from the hitter side, we had 90. Okay.
That was April.
And then in May, we dropped from 199 on the pitcher to 166 on the pitcher.
Okay.
We dropped from 90 to 71 on the batters.
Okay.
And then in June, we've got 121 total balls and 41 total strikes. So, yeah, I mean, they're getting used to it.
Okay.
It's still a lot. And when it happens in a big moment, it still really sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not used to it. So I'm not getting used to it. If there's a potential for this to happen in the bottom of the ninth it's going to happen eventually. That's how baseball works.
It's going to happen.
It can happen, it will. And that's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
We need a way to thwart that.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe after 3 years of this, they can rescind the law in a way and say, hey, we're all playing quicker. We all see that quicker's better. So now we can just play ball and not be held to these rules. But probably wouldn't work out that way.
The TV contracts are now this is all written in. There's no way they're going to go back on this. It
has to be in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to be the savior of baseball not being dictated by time. The only great sport left. But
without your optimism, a lot of this wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that aren't working, the shift ban isn't working.
Yeah. Okay, why?
Batting average on balls in play it's up marginally. It's not enough to really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not. It's not working. Shift ban's not working because guess what? You can get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the outfield?
Like, okay, Joey Gallo, like the most famous guy you want to shift against because he just can't go the other way.
Yeah.
He's a savant. Let's call him a savant.
Okay.
This is even more embarrassing than the old shift, right?
Yeah. I can't wait
because what they did is they play their shortstop over as far as he can go.
Okay.
Third baseman's in like way far over. Okay. Uh-huh. The center fielder plays in the spot where the shift guy used to play.
Shallow right center, I'm guessing?
Yeah. And then the right fielder goes deep and the left fielder goes and plays center fielder. So you're just giving him left field, completely giving it to him. Because if you look at the numbers, he literally cannot hit there.
He cannot do it.
All last year, he didn't do it once.
So
when he did it, it was a ground ball. It wasn't. He never hit like a bloop. Not even one bloop. Okay. So they did this against him. That's actually 5 infielders. That's even worse.
Yeah.
Good job, MLB. You did it.
Well, it makes me wonder if they're gonna try to kill that one. Like you have to play your outfielders in a certain way. I wonder if that's
what I said when I read this rule. When I first read this rule and we first talked about it, I said they're going to paint circles where the outfielders are going to have to play.
Right. You've been very clear about that. Yeah. And it sounded like a joke, but like other jokes that we tried to tell, they tend to become true.
So upsetting.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty silly.
They have to stop that because Joey Gallo has to get his double or a single. It's a single.
That should be a hit, man.
It's even uglier than the old shift, you guys, when they do this. It's even uglier. And I guess you can make the argument they're not going to do it as often because other guys they shift against can actually sometimes.
They wouldn't give all of left field.
They sometimes accidentally go to left field.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Gallo, congratulations. Savant.
Okay, you got more stats?
Nah, we did all the stats. We went through them all. It's all has to do with these violations.
That was a lot of new acronyms for me. I'm not going to commit those to memory.
No, I'm not going to either. No, fuck that.
PPTV is in my head forever, though, unfortunately.
PPTV.
That etched its way in there. Yeah.
Maybe that should be the
I don't remember what it stands for, but it's in there. Pitcher
pitch timer violation.
Pitcher pitch timer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I saw a video. The most recent defensive shift violation. Okay, second baseman.
Okay.
They're holding the runner on second.
Okay.
His eyes, his body, his center of gravity is way where it needs to be. But his foot is just ever so slightly.
Feet, toes, and grass.
On the wrong side of second base. and they called
Can't do that.
They called a defensive shift violation.
A really loud whistle.
The home plate umpire called it.
Man, it's good multitasking.
He called it. Yep.
Yeah.
What's his job now?
Yeah, that's fucking weird. So you're allowed to stand there, but just the foot placement was off.
Jeff McNeil met second baseman, holding the runner 2 inches over. He's
in the record books.
He wasn't the first. The first one was that was the most recent. So,
that was the accidental one you were saying?
Yeah, the first one was Elvis Anduris, shortstop for the White Sox in April. I don't have any video on that, but I did see this one where Jeff McNeil, and he has a statement on this. He was pissed. He didn't like it. Do you want to hear it?
What did he say?
From what I just read of the rule, it was not a violation, McNeil said after the game. It's when the pitcher releases the ball. I need to be on my side of second base, which I was.
Yeah.
It's a little frustrating because what I was doing was not a violation. So he doesn't even, I think it was really close. I have a big problem with this. The pitcher he delivers his pitch and the umpire's standing up going, "Ruh," and he's waving his hands and no one knows what he's trying to say.
Yeah, right.
As a pitcher, as a guy who used to pitch, I don't want the umpire just suddenly standing up and waving his arms for some shit I can't see.
That leads to injuries.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. If the umpires have less power to call the game and more, technology's calling it for him, he might be chomping at the bit to call something new.
It's so ticky-tacky that it's not even something that we should be worrying about, McNeil said.
Right.
If you're playing defense right there on that line, all the way back to the grass, where you're trying to toe the line, of course. But I was trying to stop him from getting to third base. So that's a little frustrating. From what I read in the rule, I wasn't in the wrong. And we need to get a little more clarification on that. I saw the video. I think it's like, I understand why the umpire called him, because just one of his feet was on the wrong side of the base. It's just really simple. But I also understand his point of view. If I was the home plate umpire, I wouldn't have called it. No way would I have called that.
Yeah, and very, very seldom does someone stay on second base for a pickoff, holding them on. Like, that's really rare. I wonder if that was a late game thing. Because usually, the shortstop or the second baseman will kind of jab step and almost fake it. And if they actually throw back, then it's a planned play.
It was the 8th inning.
A really rare play in baseball. So I want to know a little more about why they were holding him on. It seems weird.
I've seen that before. Like, that doesn't seem that weird. It's just uncommon.
I mean, they do pickoffs, but it's usually a bang bang. Like, it's a planned play where we'll say the shortstop in this situation just sprints over there at the same moment that the pitcher steps off the rubber, spins around and throws it. Not just standing on second holding him. And now this is making me wonder if an outfielder is allowed. Like, can you pull your center fielder in and play an outfielder on the dirt, on the infield dirt?
The outfielders can play wherever they want. There's no
outfielder
rules.
Can play on the infield dirt, so you can have 6 infielders.
They played their center fielder on the grass, but that's kind of where you want him when you're doing the traditional shift. You want the guy deep.
Yeah.
You don't want a bunch of guys on the dirt.
Yeah, and that's what I was starting to think for a moment was, wait a minute, did they pull their center fielder out of the outfield and just straight put him on second base, holding the runner on, and then you could play third base, shortstop, second, first in their normal positions?
Here's why you wouldn't do that.
But legally, it sounds like you could.
If there was a pickle, yeah, he's got to make a play. But here's the thing. Here's why you don't do that. It's because their second baseman is a really good second baseman, and your outfielder is not a good infielder. Right. That's why he's in the outfield. Let's get real. If you can play infield, which is really infield is shortstop, second base. These are the hardest jobs in baseball, besides pitcher, besides catcher, maybe. But this is a tough job. Not everyone has that kind of reflexes. Okay,
I'm not really advocating this as a solid strategy.
You could do it.
I'm looking for wrinkles in the rules and new strategies that could possibly arrive. And I think there could be a situation where it's never happened before that I know of, but going with 2 outfielders and going with 5 infielders. I don't exactly know at the moment what that situation is. I just kind of wanted to talk it out and see if it was legal. That's according to the new rules.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 infielders and 2 outfielders.
And that's all because of, what was the name? Gallo?
Because Joey Gallo cannot hit to left to save his life.
Yeah. It's so classic. And you know what? That's exactly like
Zoolander can't turn left. He's an ambi turner.
Can't go left.
Yeah.
He can't go left.
Yep.
This guy can't go to left field. Wow, what a nickname. Gallo's gone Zoolander. He can't go left. Everyone knows that. Yeah, it almost ruined his career.
If that's not already his nickname, it should be.
I mean, the parallels are ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
I'm whispering.
Not even one blew up last year. Like not even one. Nope, zero.
Nah, can't do it.
Need to play all the year. It's fine.
And then the league bails his ass out. I wonder if his average is higher now opposed to all the shifts he's been dealing with.
Yeah, it's up marginally. It's still on the interstate though. Okay, we've talked about how these rules are having like just a little tiny difference, but they're big changes at the game in our opinions.
Yeah. Yep. Sweeping changes for minor outcomes.
Speaking of sweeping changes, so we changed the throwback rule. You can only throw back twice, and the third time
all right,
you have to get him or it's an automatic balk. Well, I'm proud to announce that stolen bases are back up to the 1999 levels.
Holy shit.
I knew that would mean something to you. Yeah.
Wow. That's how much sabermetrics fucked with everything right there. Is stolen bases were such a great part of the game. Everyone understood it. Not everyone had to do it. Not everyone was Kenny Lofton, but that was fine. And then stolen bases were out, home run hitters were in, and it just went away from the sport. And they never got time to recorrect it before they just brought in new rules, which is such a lame way to update this particular sport. I don't think a newcomer to the sport is really going to understand the difference between just pure freedom. No, literally the pitcher could throw back 15 times in a row if he felt like it.
Yeah.
And what that would actually mean to a new fan, it's hard to say, because when you teach someone that's new to baseball the rules of the sport, it's just how it is. And take it or leave it, love it or hate it. Those are the rules. Now we're getting in this murkyville of, oh, that's how it used to be. Well, now it's this. Well, it was like this. Now it's like this. It's just, you know, when people like baseball, but they don't know all the rules and they don't want you to explain all the rules either. It's like, you know, I know enough. You hit the ball, you run the bases, catch it on the fly, it's an out. But when you start getting involved with the intricate stuff, people kind of tune out that are just like, I'm just basically here to enjoy the game. I don't need you to tell me the rules of the sport. I think it really muddies it for those people who are like, I don't even care. I care even less about what you're saying in terms of this is new, this is old, this is how it was, this is how it is.
Well, you know, it didn't used to, you know, you don't want to be that guy. And we won't be that guy when we go to the ballparks.
No, it's mostly bratwurst eating, beer drinking, booing when appropriate.
Yeah.
And reminding the National League teams that they ought to be batting their pitcher. That's kind of what's on my list. So
the Giants and the Dodgers were in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dodgers had...
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
They debuted a young guy. First
oh
game.
My God.
First game
Hold
ever.
On, let me get my hanky. This is the saddest shit I've heard.
Really cute kid, dude. Cute kid. He goes 6 with no hits. And they pull him.
Debut. MLB debut. I got that right?
Yeah. First game ever.
As a big leaguer.
He goes 6, no hits. And they pull him. And the Giants came back and won the game.
Fuck yeah. Fuck the Dodgers. You idiots. You're idiots. You got no respect for the game if you're doing that. None.
It gets worse. Oh, it gets worse.
Hold on, let me get my other hanky.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, the Giants are winning by 1 run going into the bottom of the 9th, and then people were just leaving. 1 run. When you watch the replay behind the plate, all the rich people had left. Like, it's super empty behind the plate.
Oh, what a sport.
1 run. Giants were winning by 1 run.
All right, let's go.
In the top of the 9th.
Right, let's go.
And then people were leaving. They're like, ah.
They're like, who's the closer? It's like, doesn't matter.
No.
I never heard of. We don't know.
What do you think would have happened if they left the kid in? Huh?
Wow. Thank you for sharing all that. I needed to hear that.
There's more.
Third hanky. All right, go ahead.
Dodgers tie it in the bottom of the 9th.
Oh my God.
Everyone who left is like, oops.
It's a circus. No one knows what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a circus.
Blah, 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 blah. Giants win it in the 11th. Yeah.
Ghost runner.
It was a circus because there were a lot of missed defensive plays on both sides. It was pretty ridiculous.
That one even ruffled A4's feathers.
I got a bunch of texts from a lot of people about this.
Okay. All right. It's your major league debut, and your first 3 at bats, you hit home runs. Unprecedented. Well, now you get a chance to tie the record with 4. And coach is like, you're kind of past your swing limit for the game. You are a young kid.
Swing limit?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bring in someone with some fresh arms. We'd hate to injure the young kid. You know, he's already had, he swung and missed a couple times in his other at bats. He's already had 8 swings this game.
No.
We're not gonna risk injury. This is an investment. We're not gonna do something silly just to impress the fans. We pulled in a pinch hitter, and he struck out. It's too bad. That's sickening. That's as sickening as it gets right there. And people wonder why baseball is less popular, and they don't talk about things like that. How do you think the fans felt about that?
They left.
How dare you?
So much fun.
And then the league bails his ass out.
Pulling. Balls. Don't make baseball look stupid.
Oh, what a sport.
By the way, his name is Emmett Sheehan.
Emmett Sheehan?
The kid. He looked so sharp. As a Giants fan, and every other Giants fan that I know wanted to see him shut out the team.
I'm going to call your raise. I'm calling your guarantee, and I'm going to raise you a guarantee and say that I would have been standing on my chair booing the whole inning. I'd have lost my voice for that. Absolutely. Even as a Giants fan.